So last night I had a crazy dream about a pregnancy. And I wasn't really planning on telling this story. But then I was browsing through my Facebook memories this morning and came upon a healing ceremony on this day, but in 2009. And once I read that healing ceremony and put two and two together, I just had to share. So, this healing ceremony is called the Journey Ahead ceremony, and it goes a little like this. Now, remember, I was in a meditation while this ceremony took place, so it was all done in spirit. I'm greeted by a strong featured native woman. She's not too far gone in years, probably a similar age as myself. And in 2009, I was 38 at the time. I ask her who she is, and she says to me that she is my sister. I take her word as the truth and lay upon a wooden surface that has been prepared for this ceremony. It is made of a very particular wood, but I couldn't remember what kind of wood it was, and it has been used for centuries for these kind of ceremonies. The young woman carries in her arms a large pottery bowl filled with powder made from various herbs and flowers. The color of the powder is orange, yellow, pink, and bits of green. As with most ceremonies, the space, myself, and everyone participating in the ceremony are smudged for cleansing purposes before we begin. The young woman begins to sprinkle the powder generously over me, starting at my feet. As soon as the first bit of powder is sprinkled over my feet, another woman comes in and begins doing something to my feet. She says that she is getting me ready for the journey I'm about to take. Oh boy, what's going to happen? She works at my feet for the entire ceremony. Powder is sprinkled all over my entire body, feet first, then legs, and so on. As I'm being covered, another lady comes in to rub the powder into my body, patting me and rubbing me gently. They say this is to seal the medicine inside me. When they get to my stomach, 3 egg-shaped stones are placed inside. They tell me that these are 3 gifts that I will need within the next 6 years. So as I'm reading this and recalling it, I stop for a moment to calculate, okay, 2009, what is 6 years later? 2015. At the end of 2014, I got divorced. Whoa. Wow. I mean, I think that's pretty significant, don't you? They continue, and when they reach my hands, crystal bones are placed in my palms. I say crystal bones because that's what they called them, but to me they look like small, thin crystal wands. After being placed in my hands warmed up and began to glow very brightly. The odd feeling was this energy stayed in the palm of my hand even after the crystal bones or crystal wands had been removed. I suppose it was for the purpose of that's why the crystal bones were placed there. When they reached my face, some of the powder was mixed with blessed water and smudged just beneath my eyes over my cheekbones, then across my forehead, along the back of my neck, and all through my hair. Our hair is connected with our intuition. Think about when you get those cold chills, when you have that moment and every hair on your body is standing on end. That is spirit speaking to you. That is your intuition saying, you're correct, this is right. Pay attention. At the end of the ceremony, there was a period of meditative chanting by everyone and then a final blessing. I was then washed with herbal water that had been specially made for this ceremony, of course, and as well, and I was dressed in white cotton linens. For 3 days, I was to rest before beginning this new journey. Looking back at that time in history from 2009 to 2015, it was probably the most difficult period of my life. I was in a marriage that was completely out of balance. And I had a very hard time finding my way and understanding what was happening and why. It's interesting how these things come up, and the fact that I had a dream just last night of being pregnant. Dreams of pregnancy are projects that are coming, something new being born within your life or within you. This could be something physical, it could be a new job, a new journey, a new chapter in your life, or it could be new aspects of yourself that you are discovering. In this dream, I remember telling my husband that I was pregnant, and they were like, "That's impossible." He's, and I agreed that it should be impossible, but it was true. And I had this little device that I could put over my stomach, and it was like an ultrasound that I personally had that I could just put over my stomach, and you could see inside. And I was placing that in my stomach and looking at different angles inside, and you could see that new thing inside of me. So there is something new that is coming that is still in that gestation phase. It hasn't come to be yet, it hasn't been born yet, but is certainly beginning to form. Pay attention to your intuition. Pay attention to your dreams. Write them down. Even if you don't understand them at this moment in time, write them down. I'm so glad that I remembered to write this vision down. And looking back at it now, I am like, wow. Just wow.